is up, everybody? It is Life's Apprentice. I have been hinting towards this video for a while, and it took me a little while to get to building, but today I'm going to be showing you how to build a DIY firewood bundler. Now, it's not automated and it's not exactly like you see on the internet, but the ones that I've looked at cost anywhere from $500 to $2,000. And if you've watched any of my other firewood videos, we are not professional. This is a side hustle, and $1,500 for a firewood bundling system makes absolutely no sense. So I came up with an idea that I know is going to work, and it's going to serve the purpose that I need for making firewood bundles. And I think a lot of people that are in the bundle and firewood business are doing it similar to me. So I think that this would be useful for a lot of people. I know that a lot of people out there on YouTube and that are doing, firewood are doing it part-time, more or less for enjoyment, and it's not to make a living, just to make a little bit of extra money. So I think this is something that other people can use. This is not something that I completely came up with by myself, but I know that it's going to work, and I'm going to show you how to build it. So first thing I have, this is going to be my base. So these were just 2x4s. You can make these however big you want, but we want this to stand up. So what I did, this one's 48 inches. I cut this one in half, so it's 48 by 48. And then I have a 16-inch 2x4 right here. And we're going to center this on here. And I'm just going to put some screws in to hold this all together. And this is just basically my base. So first thing we're going to do, and I'm just using 2.5-inch standard drywall screws. You want to do this on a mostly flat surface. This is not perfectly flat, but it'll do. And I'm just going to kind of lace this with screws. I'm going to put a bunch in. One thing I didn't mention, these actually came off of a pallet, but these are green treated. They don't have to be treated. I just had some, and I figured since they're going to be on the ground like this, I would use treated. Alright, that is our base. And you can see that's going to hold it. It's not going to tip. It's not going to fall. The next thing, and you guys can adjust these lengths that I'm showing you for your own needs, but the idea is still going to be the same. Now, on the end here, because this is all one piece now, on the end, I have two 36-inch 2x4s. Again, this can be adjusted, but this is going to be basically our base. And this seemed to be a good working height. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw these in just like this to the base down here. You can pre-drill these holes like that, just split on me. But you don't have to. So you want to get this so it's nice and solid. And we're going to do this other side. Alright, so there's our base and our stand. I just figured this would be a pretty good working height, but you can make this taller or shorter based on how you would like to do it. The next thing I have, and the reason why I did this at 16 inches is because I want my bundle, most firewood should be cut. Our firewood that we cut is anywhere from 14 to 16 inches. So 16 inches is going to be the base here. I have two 10-inch 2x4s here that are going to go on here, and I'm going to center them. That way, if I have a shorter piece that's like 14 inches, it will still land on this wood. Just going to put some screws in. And I'm not getting real scientific with this. I'm not really measuring center or anything like that. We're just kind of putting it together. So that's our base, and the inside is 12 inches and the outside is 19. So that's going to give you a lot of leeway for the size of your firewood. The next thing, I have two 12-inch pieces, actually four 12-inch pieces, and those are going to go on the end just like this. I was wrong. I only cut two of these 12 inchers, but I actually need four, so I'm going to cut two more for this side. This is another thing that can be adjusted based on the size of the bundle. So our bundle is going to be roughly 16 inches long based on the size of your piece of wood, and this is 10 inches by 10.5. So I did the math, and I'm trying to make a 1 cubic foot bundle. So to figure out cubic feet, you need to do cubic inches. So you'll do 16 inches long by 10 inches wide by 10.5 inches. So 16 times 10 times 10.5, and that's going to get you to roughly 1,700 cubic inches, and a perfect cubic foot is 1,728 cubic inches. So that was my goal. If you want to make a smaller one or a larger one, you would need to adjust the sizes of either your up and downs or uprights. But I wanted to make this almost perfectly square, and that was how I figured it out. Now, you can also, just because you have two screws right here and right here, you can make another one of these if you want two different sizes of bundles. You would just have to pull these two screws out, pull these two screws out, and add your other piece that might be 12 inches by 12 inches. Now that I've built this, I feel like this is a little wobbly, but we want to leave this open so that we can wrap the bundle. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a support right down in here. This is something I didn't really plan too much. I just had the idea in my head, and this is essentially what it looked like in my head, but I see that I need some support here. So I'm going to add a 16-inch piece right in here, but that's going to allow me room to wrap the shrink wrap around the middle of the bundle. The good part about this, but you guys can adjust this and add supports and kind of make your own version of this, but I'm sure somebody's built something like this or similar before. But this is much cheaper than any of the alternatives. So now, there we go. It's pretty solid, pretty sturdy. It's not going to tip over. With the treated on the bottom, you can leave it in your wood yard or where you stack wood, and I don't think it's gonna rot or break. And if anything breaks, it's just a 2x4. You just gotta repair it. It should be pretty simple. Now we're gonna show you the wood and the wrapping that we're gonna use in order to make our bundles. All right, here we got some firewood. This is red oak, and you can see most of the pieces are pretty consistent. That one's 15 inches, and 15. They're very consistent at 15 inches. This is bundle grade. I mean, this is nice, square, good pieces. Now we're just gonna stack these in just like any other bundler. This really doesn't change how you bundle. It just simply is giving you the opportunity to do it without spending $1,500. We're going to want to make these, you know, tight and neat as best we can. There you go. Now here, I just have basically packing wrap or whatever you call it. I got this on Amazon for $8 and I think it's 400 feet. So we're literally just going to wrap this. And you can do this however you want. Once it's started, it should be a lot easier. I'm going to wrap it nice and tight. I'll go from end to end. And you can use any kind of wrap, or you can use rope or wire or whatever works for you. This is more or less just a stand to build these off of. I've tried making bundles without something like this, and it's very hard to get the bundles tight, is what I've noticed. So I might be overdoing this, but this is my first time with this material, so I'll figure it out as I make more. There you go. And obviously this is not going to be as fast as a proper firewood bundler, but it's really hard to justify $1,000 or $1,500 for a proper firewood bundler unless you're making hundreds and hundreds of bundles. But even the bundler, you still have to hand stack it all. You still have to wrap it. It's just slightly easier than this setup here. But I actually think it works pretty good. That's a beautiful bundle. It's way nicer than any other bundle I've ever made. Nice and tight, perfect square. Now, you do need, you know, good firewood to do this. So not every piece of firewood is going to be created equal, but this is good bundle grade stuff. And you can see it is a little loose there, but this thing is not going to come apart. Well, there you have it. I think it worked out pretty good. You guys can make your own version of this or follow exactly what I did. Pretty sweet. If you guys like that video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you on the